You're listening to LunaKage and Mr. You Suck's Unnamed Wrestling Podcast.
I'll be a little noise for this that way. I'm just gonna sit on the motherfucking floor or just crouch here.
Sit there?
Yeah, fuck it, I'm sitting right here. Yeah, I'll do it. Broadcasting live from Chronohaus, Michigan.
It's the first episode of Unnamed Wrestling Podcast Live.
Unnamed Wrestling Podcast Live with your hosts, LunaKage and Mr. You Suck.
I think the intro actually does that for us.
I know, but no, it does. But I'm trying to make the sound better. There's a lot of people in this house today, and we don't really have the best area to do a recording. So that's
also it's hot as fuck.
It was hot as hell in Michigan today, and we need to have the fan off to do this. So if we blaze through this video, there's a reason. Not to mention, we're just going to be doing a pretty mild one. So
I don't really foresee this being longer than 30 minutes.
No.
It's not much longer.
No, so we'll just, hey, this is the Snap, Crackle, Pop. This is the WWE 2016 Draft Review video, or podcast.
Yeah.
Detailing everything that happened during the 2016 Draft for RAW and Smackdown talents. This will be pretty basic. Just basically, we're going to go through each round's picks and give our comments on what they mean, and if it was good or bad, or if this company's doing the right thing or doing the wrong thing. And there's a couple extra bonuses at the end for some backstage interviews and what happened with the matches. So, I don't think we really either had like expectations going into this. You were on point with pretty much what happened. I didn't really have much expectations in terms of who would be drafted where. I was like, this is the first draft I've really seen.
Yeah.
So I'll just let this happen.
In fairness, this draft was not like the ones that I normally saw. Because the ones I saw were after the very first draft. Mm-hmm. So, like, you know, this one, obviously, they had 5 picks per round because they had to split the whole roster. It wasn't just a mix things up kind of thing like the old draft was.
Yes.
You know, obviously, after the first draft they did way back in the day, the drafts afterward, they were normally yearly, I assume. Because it's been a while, where, you know, there would be maybe 10 picks total, so like 10 different superstars end up switching places and stuff.
Literally everyone on the main roster got picked.
Yeah,
and
except for Heath Slater.
Spoiler alert, the only unpicked person from the main roster was Heath Slater.
Let me talk about how dumb that is real quick. I'm sure they did it only because it would be funny.
Yeah, they did.
But Raw literally wasted 2 picks on the Social Outcasts.
Yes.
When they could have used 1 pick to get all of them.
Yeah.
So Stephanie McMahon is dumb.
I mean,
in kayfabe. She's a dumb bitch.
I mean, there's a couple picks in here that are dumb bitch mode. on both sides, to be honest. Yeah. So
in fairness, the Big Show had to be picked.
Fucking Christ. We'll get to that point when we get to that round. Just let's go down the rules. There are 5 picks per round. Raw gets 3, SmackDown gets 2, and tag teams count as 1 pick. Wrestlers plus their managers count as 1 pick. And that's beautiful. Sorry. And they told us that a total of 6 NXT wrestlers will be called up during this. Eligible for picks. This is important to note that there was no other rule specified for how, who, or in what regard the NXT wrestlers will be chosen from. We are to assume that literally everyone on the NXT roster is available. So we'll get to that when we get to that. Anyways, so round 1, first pick, overall, round 1, Seth Rollins to Raw. Beautiful pick.
Yeah.
Actually, this is probably the best round 1 pick.
Yeah, because
best possible round 1 pick.
For one, it's Seth Rollins.
Yep.
You're trying to keep him as strong in kayfabe as possible, and it makes all the sense in the world that even though he's not the champion right now, Stephanie McMahon in kayfabe believes 100% that not only will he be the champion after fucking Battleground, but he'll probably be the champion at the end of the night.
Yeah.
You know? So she's like, I'm going to not pick the champion, I'm going to pick the one who's going to beat you.
I'm going to pick the guy that I have my money on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, beautiful pick. Pick number 2, Dean Ambrose with the belt goes to SmackDown.
Yep.
And another beautiful pick because we want Dean Ambrose to go be the guy over on SmackDown because he's not going to be the guy on Raw. We've already... not yet. Not anytime recent.
I mean,
in this soon.
He's doing really well. Cutting them promos.
He's great on the mic. I've got it.
Always know this.
Yes.
It's kind of hard to be good on the mic where the only time they give you a microphone is in fucking segments on YouTube. And that's it.
Or when you need to help Roman through something.
Right. It's like, Dean, go out there and say that Roman is your buddy.
Yeah.
And he's your brother. And say that Seth is a poopy head. It's pretty accurate.
We're pretty accurate. Third pick, Charlotte goes to Raw.
Yep. Which is another pick that makes sense in kayfabe.
In kayfabe, yeah.
She's not the best woman on the roster, but she is the women's champion.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you've already secured, in Steph's mind, the future WWE champion.
Yep.
So you might as well secure the women's champion.
And I don't think there's anyone else that she would believe in more than Charlotte.
Right.
It's just funny because her fucking coin flip personality of alignment over the past couple months. But
like she was the same person that fucking lambasted Charlotte for talking shit about Ric Flair. It's like
Stephanie's character can go get fucked, and Stephanie can go get fucked.
I mean, hey, she used to be hot.
Yeah.
And she's still kind of attractive.
Yeah. Fourth pick overall, AJ Styles to SmackDown. Yep.
It's great.
Good.
I'm glad he was in fucking the top 5 picks.
Yeah. And then fifth pick, last pick of the first round, Finn Balor from NXT goes to Raw. Fucking phenomenal pick.
Yeah.
The first 5 picks of this were fucking awesome.
Yeah. They established 2 championships right away.
Yep.
You know, which is good because you should be
exactly
going for the champions.
Kayfabe wise, you want your champions first.
Yeah.
With the only exception being like the tag champions, I can see why they would hold off on those picks. They want to maybe first fill out their main event and then go to their secondary and tertiary belts.
I mean, like in Steph's case, she totally went with 2 champions right away because again, she thought Seth would win. Honestly, Finn Balor being in the 5th place, being Steph's 3rd pick, I assume that it's not so much because out of kayfabe. I'm pretty sure they just wanted to establish the NXT thing like right away as soon as possible.
And who better to do it than Finn Balor, who we've been waiting for the call up on.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, the only other choice I would make here is instead of being Finn Balor, it would be the New Day.
Yeah.
Just so that she can like start her monopoly on championships early.
The only other
make it very apparent what she was trying to do.
The only other choice that I would thought would be Brock. And if the dirt sheets are to be believed, Brock would have been a higher pick, but the drug scandal has moved him down the picking order.
Yeah, I didn't think he would be draftable because he's such a part-time guy. Like I would assume he would just show up whenever and wherever, depending.
I don't think they could go this without mentioning him.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyways, on to round 2. Roman Reigns goes to Raw.
Oh.
You had to mention him eventually. Round 2 is pretty much where you wanted to see him.
Yeah, I guess I would have wanted to see him a little lower, considering he was 1 pick above John Cena.
Yeah. Second pick of the second round, John Cena goes to SmackDown. We expected this. I think we all expected this.
I fully expected John Cena to go to SmackDown, along with AJ Styles.
Yep.
Like literally the first 3 SmackDown picks, I expected 110%. Like immediately.
Now, here's the bigger question: does John Cena put talent over on SmackDown?
He better.
I really have an unwavering hope that John Cena and AJ Styles are going to put talent the fuck over on SmackDown.
I mean, I do want to see AJ Styles get a reign, though.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, like AJ, I would consider, like now that the brands are split, AJ, I believe, is going to be a permanent fixture of the main event scene.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Whereas I believe like Cena will be in like that legacy spot kind of where Jericho is, except like maybe on a little bit higher of a pedestal.
Yeah. Jericho
like,
can lose every once in a while.
Yeah, where like you put John Cena wherever you want on the card, and that spot on the card is made better for it.
Yeah, and I also think with SmackDown and Cena's age and the fact that he's turning into more of a part-timer role, he becomes the gatekeeper between upper middle card and main event.
Yeah.
Like when someone went on SmackDown, he loses clean to someone. Please God, let him lose clean to someone. I mean, there's always the fear, but I can easily see with his age, his role, his legacy, that when someone's ready for the main event, they beat Cena.
Yeah.
And they get access to the main events. I'd love to see that happen. And I think John would do that. It's more that the creative is like, oh, we gotta keep John Cena strong. Because there's one thing this night that tells me creative's still gonna be a piece of shit. We'll get to that after the drafts, though. 8. The 8th pick overall. 3rd in the 2nd round. Brock Lesnar goes Raw. Had to happen. Insert your druggies, go to Raw joke here. Shit. 9th pick overall, Randy Orton gets to SmackDown. This is my first pick that I had an issue with.
Yeah.
I get that he's going to be going against Brock at SummerSlam, but that spot should have gone to someone else.
On SmackDown? Would you rather him go to Raw?
I actually would rather him go to Raw.
The way I look at it
at that point, I felt a little worried because you had too many old school main eventers. I'm like, okay, we have AJ Styles, which that's just his age. I want his reign to happen, but I know he will not be around for a long while.
He might be. He'd probably still go.
He can still go. But
his style is like pretty intense though, so as long as his body keeps up, he should be good.
That's my thing. He's one of the guys that I feel like doesn't have the most amount of time left. But he's going to make the best out of what happens.
Yeah.
And then you have Cena, and then you get Orton, and I'm like, could you not have had Cena and Orton?
I think like at the time I was like, oh okay, but after looking at it, like it really looks like, because Raw is always going to be the flagship show. There are very few, like by the end of this, there are very few main event, like already established main eventers on the Raw brand.
Yeah.
So it's like you've got mostly new guys.
And I like that, but like just looking at the picks, if you swapped Randy Orton with the next SmackDown pick, I would have had an infinitely better time.
Oh yeah.
An infinitely better time. I think that would have been the way to do it. Because we'll get to there when we get to there.
Yeah, having him be a second round pick would have been nice.
That would have been huge. It would have been huge. And the last pick of the second round, New Day goes to Raw. Yep. So once again, Raw is picking them like they pick.
Raw is like
Raw within kayfabe.
All the champions.
Yeah, Raw within kayfabe is killing it. Anyways, 3rd round, Raw kicks off by taking Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Big. Surprising.
Yeah.
Extremely surprising. This was the first pick where in kayfabe I felt like Mick would have had influence instead of Stephanie.
Right.
Because if you were to tell me that the 11th overall spot was going to go to either Sammy or Owens, I would have said Owens because Stephanie would have thrown her weight around.
Right.
But this feels like Mick had his say in the matter, and that's really looking into it. Like I'm pulling a Luna. I'm really looking into it right now.
You're analyzing.
I am analyzing the piss out of this. So Sami Zayn goes to Raw. Next up, Bray Wyatt goes to SmackDown. If you swapped Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton, I think that would have been amazing.
Yeah, I would have liked that because, Bray's one of my top guys.
Yeah, and Bray, if the dirt sheet said that Bray was going to get the belt at some point this year, I don't think they've given up on that, but now he might get the belt over at SmackDown.
I mean, obviously.
Yeah, so.
Because, if the thing is, no matter what, and you can say whatever you want about the last brand extension because it's probably going to be true.
Mm-hmm.
But at first, they're going to establish the 2 world titles when they finally introduce the second one. They're going to establish it as equals.
Yes.
Even during the last brand split, before they started merging the pay-per-view rosters because SmackDown just wasn't getting buys. Before they stopped doing that, they every multi-brand pay-per-view would have an even number of SmackDown title main events and Raw title main events. What I mean by that is, fucking, let's say SummerSlam and the Royal Rumble would be main evented by fucking the World Heavyweight title on Raw. Meanwhile, fucking Survivor Series and SummerSlam would be main evented by the WWE title on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
Just as an example, that's how they did it for at least 3 years, I think, which is a long time in wrestling.
That's a long ass time.
It's a long time in wrestling.
In current wrestling, I should say, as well. When you have 12 plus pay-per-views.
As long as they book like that, at least until fucking this ends up becoming a bad idea, because like right now it's very new, so it could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as they stick to their guns on making these two brands as equal in importance as they can, then it'll be fine. So if Bray ends up getting the SmackDown title, whether it remains the WWE title or it becomes the World Heavyweight title, depending on what happens at SummerSlam or whatever, then that'd be great for me because I want to see him get the belt. I already think, especially now that he's over on SmackDown, he's not competing with as many main event level guys.
Exactly. That's the big thing with Raw was that you had your established main event, you had your old school main events. So established main event, Shield.
Yeah.
You had your old school main event, your legacy guys, Randy Orton, John Cena,
who still took up spots in the main event.
And then you had the people who desperately needed to get to the main event, but there was no room for them. So that's really, I think, one of the big things that this brand split offers. Because the Shield are just not fucking going anywhere.
Right. Yeah, the Shield are fucking rooted into the ground.
Yeah, this is your Shield era. We are in the Shield era.
And I'm totally fine with that as long as it's not the Roman era.
Yes.
Like, I don't
The fact
care.
that Dean won Money in the Bank tells me we're probably not all the way in the Roman era. Dirt sheets. I'm sorry, I read dirt sheets a lot.
Yeah. I mean,
Dirt sheets have told me that Vince has soured a little on Roman after all of his responses to trying to push.
We don't want him to sour all the way. We want him to sour enough.
We want him to sour enough to turn him fucking heel.
Well, that
Roman will be a great fucking heel.
Yeah.
Cool. He's made to be a heel.
Yeah,
when he wrestles like a heel, he wrestles good.
Yeah. Like, I'm not saying, like, fucking, I'm expecting him to become another The Rock when he becomes fucking heel and makes that transition. But that's not to say he won't go through a great transition.
Yeah.
Like, I believe 110% that once the entire Smart fan base realizes that he's no longer the handpicked fucking guy who's going to be the one to break Ric Flair's record, then we'll probably chill out on him a lot.
Exactly.
Because, like, Roman, he's not awful. He's just awful where they want him.
Yeah. He's not awful. He's just way overpushed and it's super obvious.
Yeah.
That's the obviousness of it is one of the big problems.
Yeah, like, the thing is, when they finally do a Shield reunion, and it's not going to be long term, obviously. Like, these guys are already their own dudes. If it's going to be a Shield reunion, it's going to be similar to how fucking Evolution reunited. Like a couple night thing to like get a huge pop.
Yeah.
Before they reunite, Roman needs to be like consistently over, whether it be as a heel or face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like once
you
like
can't reunite in an attempt to get Roman over.
You know what I would do?
What's that?
I just thought about this right now. This has been one of my biggest gripes with what they've been doing with Roman. At Battleground this Sunday, holy fuck. Roman needs to come out to new music.
Please.
Because he's right now just like Shield solo. And I think when they do reunite and come out to the Shield music, it'll be a little bit not as good if they're just coming out to Roman's music.
Exactly. I want Roman to ditch the vest and ditch the music.
I think like the vest he needs to ditch, but to continue wearing the top.
Yeah, no, like wear a sleeveless.
Yeah.
Just the thing is, like, since you don't kayfabe the vest, it really needs to go.
Right.
Anyways, moving on.
And it could be like
never mind.
It could be like a metaphor for him not being as protected anymore.
Exactly.
Because he lost the vest.
Or now that he doesn't have the belt, he doesn't matter. He doesn't care what the risks are.
Yeah.
That'd be a good thing. Anyways, third pick in the third round, Stephanie's like, hey, Shane, you don't look like you have a whole lot of women over there. With exactly one female pick over.
Actually, that was Mick that said that.
What? No, it was.
That was Mick, because, like, Daniel Bryan made a joke immediately afterwards.
It was Steph, because she was targeting Shane. She was completely a snarky bitch about it's burning.
I mean, like, I remember because Daniel Bryan was like, oh, don't worry, Mick, we know about your thing with the women. And then they made their women pick.
I mean, that could have come after. That just could have been a response afterwards. But I swear that Steph tried to take the heat out. Sasha Banks goes to Raw, which once again, it makes sense.
Yeah. What worries me though is that's this is one of the championships that is pretty much locked on Raw now. Like there's no chance that it's going to end up on SmackDown after SummerSlam unless they make like a bigger than one-on-one type deal. Because at Battleground, the title's not going to be defended. It's going to be a tag team match. And you know SummerSlam is going to be Sasha versus Charlotte.
Yep.
So no matter who wins that, it's going to be a Raw Superstar.
Yep.
So that is a Raw title. That's beyond a shadow of a doubt. All the other titles, I mean, the tag title is kind of a question mark.
Because that's not being defended either.
Yeah, and like at SummerSlam, it could end up being an interpromotional. We don't know enough about it yet.
Oh, yeah.
If it ends up being the Wyatt family, which Wyatts would it be? Like, because like the tag team right now of the Wyatts are split up, and Bray is a singles guy. So like, who could of the Wyatts who could unless which is possible. Like you could say maybe at Battleground the Wyatts win because Luke Harper comes back and interferes. Then you could have Luke Harper end up being on SmackDown with Rowan and Bray for the original Wyatt family, which I think they might be going for because the only Wyatt on Raw right now is the one that was introduced late.
Yeah.
So like it's possible that Harper comes back and he's on SmackDown with Rowan and Bray.
I would highly expect it.
And then at SummerSlam, since it is still a cross-promotion thing.
Let me back that up for a second. Strowman's still really green.
Yeah.
So if they put Harper on Raw and have a tag team between Harper, ring general, and Strowman, the hot tag big man, I could easily see them doing that.
Yeah, but I mean that requires them to be babyface because like heels don't get hot tag.
I know they don't.
Like in the context of like a heel team, like Strowman's perfect because all he's got to do is beat up guys.
Yeah. No, I could easily see them putting them on Raw and having Luke Harper be the babysitter for Strowman until he's better.
Right. But yeah, I think because like Harper's been out for like didn't he get injured shortly, like very shortly after Seth, or was it before Seth? Because they had like the same injury except his wasn't as bad.
I can't remember.
Like at any rate, he's due to come back.
He should be doing
like very soon. Yeah. So at Battleground to cause the Wyatts to win and therefore get a shot because they beat the tag team champion would set up the Wyatts or some combination of the Wyatts a title shot at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Which again is a cross-promotional pay-per-view. So you could have SmackDown's Wyatts versus Raw's New Day to determine the fate of where the tag team titles are in. But that's the only thing I can think of. Because right now, Raw's got like all the fucking championships.
True. Next up, the in-response pick is that Becky Lynch goes to SmackDown.
No girl.
So this is another expected pick for, I think, both of us. Becky's now going to be a top babyface female over at SmackDown.
I totally support that, and that was my silver lining.
Yep.
And I've said that in one of the offhanded things I said in one of the past episodes. That's I didn't want them to split the women's division or the tag division. I wanted them to be show exclusive. But if they did, I wanted Becky to be on SmackDown because that would mean that when she gets her own fucking women's championship, she could have it. But this was what made it immediately apparent that we weren't going to get brand exclusive divisions. At least, I guess Raw's getting the cruiserweight division. I guess there's not even a belt for that yet.
There's a funny thing about that later on.
Yeah, there is.
Really funny.
I'm sure anyone that could be fucking listening to us already know what we're talking about.
Exactly.
But yeah, Becky Lynch. As far as what's... Because, like, the thing is, they split the women's title before, but that's how the Divas title was born.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to bring back that belt. What I think they might do is the same thing, like treat it like the kind of belt that's the old school draft did, because they had 2 world titles, 2 tag team titles, and on Raw, at least at the time, we're talking like early draft, early brand split, they had the world heavyweight title and the world tag team titles. SmackDown had the WWE title and the WWE tag team title. So if they do that here with the women's title, then it would be like the world women's title on one of the 2 shows, and then the WWE women's title on one of the 2 shows. As far as belt designs, you could go
do the same design but put a blue background. It'll look so fucking hot.
It'd be cool. Like,
it looks so good.
A lot of people were, I don't know why, but there was a picture someone made.
Sorry.
About the two new world titles, and like, what are they just going to bring back the world belt design? Someone had since the WWE title has the red strip, the SmackDown one would have a blue strip, and that would be it. And some people were like, no, that's stupid because of this and this and this. And like, I agree with them, but at the same time, it's like, if you're going to do it, you might as well be a little clever with it.
Yeah.
So,
because I think that's a good idea to keep the belts feeling the same power level.
Yeah. And like, as far as like the belt designs for the world title, like the old big gold belt design, like even though it's been tarnished by later year WCW or fucking later year WWE, like that belt is still so fucking iconic that no matter how many times someone sees it, if it's treated like a big deal, someone will be like, man, that belt is the belt.
Yeah.
Like
that's the belt.
That's the
belt. Anyways, moving on to our last pick of the 3rd round and our first big controversy pick. Chris Jericho goes to Raw.
Is that a controversy pick?
It's a big controversy pick for me.
Is it?
Because this was the first pick where I'm like, I kind of get it, but you are killing a lot of potential new guys that needed the spot.
I mean,
specifically the fact that Kevin Owens was not picked in with the same round that Sami Zayn was.
I think they did that on purpose. Like they like not in kayfabe. Mm-hmm. Well, maybe in kayfabe if you were to do it, I guess. But like they even like Sami on his before he was drafted, he got an interview like before he was drafted, and he's like, I don't mind which show I end up on, and whether it's with Kevin or not, but I want to be picked before him. Mm-hmm. So I think like the fact that he was picked a whole round before Kevin Owens is going to factor into like their feud a little bit.
Okay. Round 4, Raw starts off with the U.S. Championship. Rusev with Lana.
Yep.
And in response, SmackDown takes Miz and Maurice.
Yeah.
I mean, they need to dump that on someone good instantly.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it can't be too instantly, because if they dump it on Darren Young, it's going to be on.
Yeah.
But the thing is, here, I like that they kind of did something behind the scenes a little bit here that wasn't immediately obvious. Both of the special in-ring segments are on 2 different shows.
Yes.
So you got the highlight reel on Raw, and then Miz TV on SmackDown.
And that's good.
Not that I care a whole lot about either one when they're heels, because when they're heels, it's like, come on. So you're just going to be a dick the whole time. You're not going to ask the real questions.
And then Kevin Owens gets picked for Raw, 18th overall.
The only thing I had a problem with this is that if you're gonna build so much to these two being on different brands,
exactly,
why would you put them on the same brand?
If you're gonna build that Battlegrounds, it's a huge fucking blow off.
Yeah.
Why put them on the same brand again?
You could make the Battleground match like a loser leaves Raw match. They've done this so many times, and then the guy who loses ends up on SmackDown like a month later. Mm-hmm. And I would do that. I would have it so that one of these two guys loses, with the stipulation that whoever wins gets to stay
on the flag brand. Because the thing is, they've said during the show, Raw is the flagship show.
Yeah, I mean SmackDown, and back in the day, it was a little bit easier to pretend that they were of the same importance because they were both still 2-hour shows.
Yeah.
Now, even though they're both live, they both could have run-on segments. Raw is an hour long.
Raw's the flagship show.
Raw's an hour long. Like, that's literally why Raw gets 3 picks to SmackDown's 2.
Exactly.
They
need to fill out more time places.
Yeah, there's a lot more fucking... A lot more time. What's up?
I just not.
God, get fucked.
I spill my beer a little bit. Shit. Fuck. Fucking Christ. Okay, 19th pick overall, Baron Corbin to SmackDown. That's a little higher than I was expecting Baron Corbin, but we'll take it. I hope that means that they're going to do something with him.
I mean, like, they could immediately put the Intercontinental title on.
I would like that. I would like that a lot.
I see him as a solid mid-card guy as far as placement goes.
Yes.
Because right now, like, again, well, not right now, but before, there's way too much stuff going on. And that's why Baron Corbin got lost in the fucking show.
Exactly.
Now that he's on SmackDown, which is the smaller brand, like, there's enough room. Well, yeah, enough room for a guy like Baron to just have a fucking run.
Exactly.
The fucking
I think this is a huge pick.
Yeah.
In terms of Baron Corbin's significance moving forward.
You know
let's put it this way. He was picked before our next pick. Enzo and Cass go to Raw.
Yeah.
That's really fucking important. That's really fucking important because Enzo and Cass have been flirting with the main events.
Yeah. They're on Raw.
Yeah.
So they're at least where the tag titles are right now.
Yes. And that gives our eventual split up in like big Cass singles run in the main event because Vince is like, he's a mastodon. Shit. Look at the size of him.
But he's not cut. He's not ripped.
He's
like
not,
McMahon was.
He's not ripped, but he's good enough.
Put Roman's best on. He'll look sick with the tactical vest. Make Roman and
Cass may not be like super duper like Wade Barrett cut, but he's big and cut enough for what Vince wants.
Oh, you're talking about Cass. I was talking about Corbin. For some reason, I missed the transition.
No. My apologies. I was talking about doing Cass. Corbin needs to have his vest on because his vest is badass as shit. It completely plays into his character.
It'll just be hard to bump around when you got like shoulder pads made of bones.
Not that vest. Not his pay-per-view vest. His regular like patchwork vest that fits in very, very nicely. Anyways, Enzo and Cass moved to Raw. Big deals all around. Round 5, we kick off with another tag team going to Raw. It's Gallows and Anderson.
Yeah.
So they're on Raw. AJ's on SmackDown.
Yeah, but Balor's on
Raw. 2 + 2 = 4.
Yeah, sometimes 5. The thing at this point, we're 21 picks in, and the only tag team, the only brand that's got tag teams are Raw.
Yes.
So at this point, I'm like, I don't know about the women's division, but it firmly looks like the tag division is going to be on Raw.
If only.
And then the very next pick.
The very next pick is American Alpha go to SmackDown.
If any team deserves to be in the main event of tag teams, it's going to be American Alpha.
So this is good. I like this a lot.
Yeah.
Because they're going to be the main event guys.
I like it a lot as long as their brand has a belt.
Exactly.
Like that's the thing. Like you got Becky Lynch and American Alpha on the brand that does not have a belt.
I have to assume they're going to get belts.
You would think.
It's just like I know there's Vince logic. I know that WWE doesn't do anything right.
Yeah.
But this makes perfect sense. You have two guys who are groomed for tag team excellence.
Yeah.
And you have one girl who has been just nothing but the biggest babyface underdog, and they know it.
God, do I love her so much.
She's beautiful.
Like, not a day goes by where I don't think about how amazing Becky Lynch is.
Exactly.
And I'm not even in fucking perverted ways either. I'm just like, man, that girl go places. That's the kind of girl I would remain friends with even if she don't.
Exactly.
You know, it's like it's a special kind of thing. It's a special kind of girl.
Next up, our biggest fucking controversy pick of the night.
Is it?
Yes!
Is it though?
Yeah. Fucking yes.
Is it?
Fucking yes.
Look into your heart.
Yes. I have huge issue with this.
Kayfabe wise?
Kayfabe doesn't fucking matter.
Really?
Yes. There's a time for kayfabe wise, and then there's a time for the holy shit, fuck you.
Like, would you be happier if he was just the very last guy picked? Because you know he had to be picked.
Not on TV. There's like 4 more rounds of draft picks that happen off TV.
Yeah.
If he was on TV, he could go on the last round pick. That's fine.
Yeah.
You're gonna fucking tell me that Big Show is the 23rd pick overall, and then the last round before television, we have fucking Cesaro.
Yeah.
It's a fucking crime.
Yeah. I mean, honestly though, like with Cesaro being that low, most of these picks are crimes.
Yes, most of these picks are indeed huge motherfucking crimes. Like, a lot of this list goes out the fucking window when you just tell me that Cesaro's that low.
I mean, Cesaro was picked after him.
Cesaro was picked after Nia Jax. Alright, what was it? Big Show goes to Raw. Who gives a fuck? No one happy. Dolph Ziggler goes to SmackDown. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
He might even get another shot at a world title on SmackDown.
I'd be fine with that.
Maybe. Like, you know, like
Be fine with that.
Dean and fucking Bray are bound to have a tug of war with it for a while, like maybe this year, but I mean...
You could probably throw him in the IC for right now.
They put SmackDown's belt on him before, it's just after it was, you know...
Useless. Yeah. So Dolph goes to SmackDown as long as he's not feuding with Baron Corbin, everything's fucking fine.
Because they are on the same brand.
Oh my god.
It never ends.
If they continue, I'll fucking shoot myself.
Remember, because we went to Raw in Detroit.
Yes.
And like during the Battle Royal, fucking they were fighting each other.
They were. It was the most murderous thing.
And like as they were doing
that Battle Royal was actually fucking in retrospect some wild bullshit.
So while they were in the process of like going at it in the Battle Royal, I fucking started chanting one more match.
Yeah, really. It's just fucking killing me. Alright, and then our last pick of the 5th round, Nia Jax goes to Raw.
Yeah. The Incredible Bulk.
No. This shatters kayfabe. This shatters...
Does it shatter kayfabe?
Yes.
Because in kayfabe, she is the monster of the women's division. She's some godlike member of the roster.
But she hasn't beaten Asuka.
I mean, you're right, but Asuka is like fucking elder god level of woman.
Yeah. And there's nothing that tells us that she's not eligible. We'll get to this at the very end. But like, but the Nia Jax picks for kayfabe doesn't make the most amount of sense. Non-kayfabe makes fucking no sense. She's greener than goose shit.
Yeah.
She is so green. And we've already seen what problems Braun Strowman has had with his just being a green power monster. Nia Jax.
You know what this does make me excited for, though?
What?
The eventual angle where Braun Strowman and Nia Jax become baby faces and they start dating.
I knew it was coming out of your mouth before you even said it.
Like, I can't wait. The only thing that's missing is that they both get married by John Cena beforehand.
Yeah.
Then they start fucking shucking and jiving with the New Day. You know, coming out
You're not wrong. They WrestleMania 3. With the big man, small man match.
Yeah.
Round 6 starts off with Neville, who is still currently out on injury.
Yep. But at least they remembered him, unlike another guy that was out on injury.
Luke Harper.
Yeah. But again, I think that was
a political play, we'll call it.
Was it?
Because they have a cruiserweight division.
Yeah.
And if anyone's going to be the king of the cruiserweight division, it should probably be Neville.
True.
So they're gonna put this pick out there to remind you that Neville's a very, very talented high flyer, so that they can help sell the cruiserweight division.
Oh, absolutely. But I think like the reason why they remembered this injured guy but not Luke Harper kind of points to my theory being a possibility, possibly true.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with Luke going to be making a surprise return as opposed to, hey guys, he's still with us.
He's still with us. Yeah. Natalya goes to SmackDown, so her and Becky can have their big feud still. Makes perfect sense. Everyone saw it coming.
Yeah.
And then the biggest crime of the night, 28th overall, Cesaro. Fucking buried.
Poor Cesaro.
Buried him. We'll take this time to look at it. After the draft, there were backstage segments. Almost all of the backstage interviews and like people interviews were candid, we'll call them, because the talent didn't know where they were being drafted. Everyone was kept in the dark. The main roster and the NXT developmental area were all kept in the dark. about where they were going to be ending up at the end of the night. So you got some very genuine reactions. American Alpha were ecstatic that they were going to SmackDown as the first tag team picked.
I mean, they were like only the second NXT people picked.
Exactly.
Because like you got to think
you were behind Finn Balor.
Yeah, in their minds, the only guy who got picked before them was the most obvious.
Yeah.
Of guys.
They were basically like, there was no fight for first place. There was a fight for second place.
Yeah.
They won.
Yeah.
So like the smile on like Jason Jordan's face was 100% genuine. And then you have Nia Jackson. When she was interviewed, she was like out of tears, like she's losing her composure, and she has to remember she's a heel, things like that. So and that's fine.
Heels can get emotional.
No, I'm not even like criticizing her for it.
Yeah.
That's 100%.
I mean, that's
you
what
go,
happened.
you go,
Yeah.
girl. You go.
Yeah.
That's a huge pick for you, even though I don't think you deserve it. No offense. You're green.
I mean, even though I pick on how she's fat and ugly, I'd still probably date her. Like, I mean, I got to be a little bit self-aware here. You know, like I wouldn't turn her down.
I just don't think she's a good wrestler.
No, she's not.
She's just got so much to go, and that's why NXT's there. So I'm really, really disappointed she got called up.
Yeah.
But then Cesaro has a backstage segment with JoJo, and they're like, "How do you feel about going to Raw?" And he's like, "I really want to go to SmackDown because SmackDown's going to be the wrestling show, and Raw's not. And I felt like my talents are going to be better on SmackDown." And
that's what I thought too.
Yeah, and so
I didn't have this whole thing in mind for Cesaro going to SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
But after he got drafted to Raw, I'm like, why is he on SmackDown?
Yeah, you're like, that's the wrong fucking choice.
Yeah.
And then he mentions like Mick Foley and Stephanie McMahon, and JoJo asks him, "What do you think? How do you think about Mick Foley and especially Stephanie McMahon working together?" And Cesaro goes, "That's the problem. Is that we're talking. You're asking me questions about those people instead of the superstars, instead of the wrestling people. You know, I come out here and I talk. I can cut a promo." I can send words from my brain and they come out my mouth. I've messed them up before, I understand that, but that's because I speak 5 languages. It's not the easiest for me to speak.
Yeah.
But I speak the one language that the WWE Universe universally speaks, and that's the language of wrestling. And that's why I needed to be on SmackDown.
He's gonna be released like
tomorrow. It was the most graceful shoot, but it was 100% shoot. He's like, I don't want to be on Raw.
And like
Raw's bullshit.
The last 3 shows, I don't know about 3 weeks, but the last 3 shows, last 3 matches I've seen him
jobbed out.
He got beat.
He jobbed out to Jericho.
Yeah. I mean, the finish was great.
Yeah.
But he still lost. He still lost to Jericho.
So, and then he what was it? What else did he mention? Oh, he was very disappointed that he was 28th overall, which is true. He shouldn't have been 28th overall.
Yeah.
He should deserve to be much higher than that. He's fucking amazing.
He's the Swiss Superman.
He could be your company guy. He's not the best on the mic, but people fucking love him. And
he looks dapper.
He's fucking great in the suit. He's great in the ring. He's got the best body and look in WWE right now.
It's like all he's missing is like amazing promo skill, but at the same time,
it doesn't matter. He's got 5 stars in literally everything else.
Yeah, but at the same time, like if he talks like slow and methodical, he doesn't need to have the best. Because the way when he does talk, it sounds good.
Yeah, this was the biggest fucking crime of the night.
Yeah.
This was no, actually, my apologies. There's one bigger crime.
Is there?
Possibly.
I mean, I could think of one other crime, but I don't know if it's as big as this.
It's really not as big as this, but it's just like this is. But it's like this. It's more heartbreaking than this, I think. So anyway, Cesaro 20th overall, 29. Alberto Dorito goes to SmackDown.
At least Cesaro got picked before Alberto Dorito,
and at least he got picked before Sheamus goes to Raw. And that's the end of your broadcast picks.
Yeah.
The rest of the rounds and the rest of the roster talent happened on the WWE Network. I didn't catch any of this. My apologies. I didn't even know it was happening.
Most of these are jobbers. Which is funny. Considering the first SmackDown pick.
Yeah, there's a couple non-jobbers in here, and it's really depressing.
Okay.
Or people we shouldn't be looking for as jobbers, or off talent, like off the screen talent. So round 7, your first pick is the Golden Truth to Raw.
Yep.
That's fine. You spent 6 months promoting them. Go ahead. The Usos go to SmackDown in the jobber role,
which is only their second tag team.
Yeah. Titus O'Neil goes to Raw.
Right.
Who cares?
Right.
Le Demon Kain goes to SmackDown, and this is the worst part of SmackDown right here. Not the pick, but the match that happens. So Kevin Owens was going to go up against...
the match.
The fucking... Fuck me, Christ.
The
I hate
quote-unquote match.
the reason why you should not believe that this is the new era. So, Sami Zayn had a match with Kain. Or Kevin Owens had a match with Kain. Who cares? They're both out there. Kevin Owens is like, fuck you, you haven't picked me yet. Because we're in like the third round or something. And then Sami and Owens go out there and squabble. And Kane's double choke slams both of them and leaves. Squashes them completely.
Okay, let me cast like a light on this darkness that I'm sure everyone is feeling. I believe that this is much more kayfabe than anything else because I don't think this was in an effort to say that Kane is still better than these two guys. Because like when you look at the placement, Owens and Zayn got onto Raw fucking on TV.
Yes.
Kane needed to be in like round one of off
TV, yeah.
So what I think this was, it wasn't necessarily Kane being stronger than these two guys. It was to cement the fact that as long as these two are together, they're not going to get anywhere.
That is true, and I get that, but God in heaven did it come off like a fucking squash. God in
think about
heaven
it,
did
Kane's
it.
not even on Raw. He didn't even get picked by Raw.
No.
He got picked on SmackDown.
Exactly. And then the most tragic case of love gone awry, Paige goes to Raw. They split up Paige and Del Rito.
Oh.
Del Rito was hitting it, dude. He was like 36, 38, and he was hitting it. And they're like,
are they still even together?
Yeah, accordingly. There's nothing to say that they haven't been. Alright, round 8. Darren Young and Bob Backlund go to Raw.
Yep.
The fact that your challengers are on the off-air means you're probably not going to win that belt humble. And then, here's my most depressing moment.
Yeah.
Kalisto goes to SmackDown, off-air, and Sin Cara goes to Raw.
Yeah.
The brand that has the cruiserweight division doesn't get Kalisto.
Yeah.
Kalisto has been a buried U.S. champion, and then off-air, they took him to SmackDown.
Here's why I think they did it. Not kayfabe-wise, but like...
Please explain to the audience while I go to the bathroom.
Well, it's going to be weird talking without you here.
I'm sorry, I gotta go to the bathroom, homeboy.
I'm not explaining shit. I'm waiting until he gets back. You can fucking edit this. I can't have conversations by myself. I've tried this. It's not as fun. Can't do it. I mean, I can do it, but it's just not as fun. So you guys get to listen to me bitch. Unless he edits it out. If he doesn't, it's going to be hilarious. Fucking Jay not having a good bladder and shit. Drinking way too much fucking booze. Boozing it up.
I don't know if you noticed this, but every Japanese market uses always have one. Every one. That's the same shit. So that's because most very normal. No. Okay. I don't know about you, but the turkey is I just do that. I would know so much. I've never done a turkey without like a week. Well, it's because I think there's like in the old times before Christmas. Yeah, no. What they had. And like,
I didn't explain shit.
Oh, was there just dead air?
Most of it. The first part of it, I was talking shit about you a little bit.
God damn. I'll also check the episode and see what kind of shit I got talked.
Yeah, you're probably going to have to edit out that sound.
No. Okay, that's fine. Anyways, you were explaining
until you forget, it gets uploaded.
It's gonna get forgotten and uploaded. I'm not even gonna bother. I'm sorry. Alright, so you had a point.
Okay, so what I imagine they were thinking is that Rey Mysterio made his debut on SmackDown, and he was super important there for a long time. Like he didn't get drafted to Raw until like I think the brands became like more or less the same without them saying it. However, the reason why that doesn't work now is because SmackDown used to have the Cruiserweight title. And Rey Mysterio was like the leader of the Cruiserweight division.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't have Kalisto be the king of the Cruiserweight division on SmackDown when it's on Raw.
Exactly. Most situations call this death for Kalisto. Yeah. Especially when your buddy Sin Cara goes to Raw, even though he's just going to job.
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming Kalisto and Baron Corbin will probably be like the first program of the mid card after Corbin gets the belt.
Yeah.
I think like that's what I think's gonna happen. That's all like speculation for the next 6 months.
So while Cesaro had an amazing shoot interview, Kalisto had a bomb drop terrible interview.
Really?
Yeah, I only caught part of it when I was watching some of the review shows at work or listening to some of the review podcasts at work. They played a clip of it, and he was trying to like come out and say like that he was gonna make a big like lucha impact, but he didn't want to say the word impact because I'm pretty sure they don't want him saying that because of DNA. And so like he had already been stumbling his way through his promo because there was no script. Remember, everything's unscripted. And he's like, yeah, I'm just lucha. I'm just gonna do my lucha thing. And then he just like leaves or some shit. Like I didn't catch the entire promo, so I'm just paraphrasing, but he fucking flubbed it. He's also probably feeling a million types of way about being drafted off.
Yeah.
Like Kalisto had a ton of promise. It looked like he was in the Lucha Dragons for like enhancement on like anything gonna be better.
What's up, boys? What you in here?
Yo, we recording the podcast. What's up?
Oh.
Yeah, get in here. Get in here. Yeah, what's up? Otacon has joined the podcast. We talk about wrestling Otacon.
Alright, so like my brother watched it. I'm not really a fan of it.
Alright, well you're gonna get learned today. I mean, only for what's left of this episode. We're going that shit. So like that's the big thing. Like we were just talking about Cleese. He's fucked.
Yeah.
Like the chances that like you built him up, it was so obvious that like he's tagging with Sin Cara to like help him build him up as this like really fucking amazing wrestler. He's gonna have a singles run. It's gonna be great. Well, he had the singles run that was fucking dog shit because no fault of his own. And then after that, they put him back with Sin Cara. Who cares? He eats the pin was that at Detroit when we were watching?
I think so.
Yeah. I can't remember who he was facing. And he ate the pin. And then
You probably can't remember because you couldn't see.
Yeah, this is true. Our Detroit experience was not the greatest, but it was fun. I had a blast. And he eats the pin, and then he gets drafted to SmackDown off screen.
Yeah.
When he should have been someone noteworthy enough to be drafted on screen.
Right.
And so, like, yeah, maybe he could be mid-carding and having a good time there and be rebuilt back up, but boy, does it just spell that. Like, most situations.
I do feel like, and like I totally agree, but I think that the SmackDown roster is going to be more so the second chance place. Because a lot of the guys who are on SmackDown now are the guys or girls that have not been getting a fair shake recently.
True.
So, like, as opposed to, like, trying to separate the talent pool based on, we're going to split up our guys that carried the whole main event scene and just spread it thin. But, like, we're going to give these guys that we haven't been giving a fair shot over on SmackDown. Like, Dean Ambrose, he hasn't been giving a fair shot.
Not at all.
The only reason why he's champion now is for like him to be immediately established over on SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
But that's going to be his second chance, being on SmackDown. Fucking Bray Wyatt, you know how he's been booked.
Yep.
Deserves the world, been getting shit.
Dog shit.
I actually feel that's anybody. Yeah, like my brother, he watch it. I watch it with him. Sometimes I want to get into it, but I never just like take that to watch it.
Dude, if you were to come over to our fucking Sunday pay-per-view viewings,
Yeah.
you'd probably dig it. Because
What
like
do you do on Sundays, Doc? Huh? It's like one Sunday
He's
off, man.
he's like, church? I didn't know you were religious. No, church is chicken.
It's a nighttime event. Oh yeah, we'll take my spot for the Sunday pay per view because I won't be here.
Dude, that's fucking shit.
I'm sorry, I'm going to Rambats.
But yeah, like
I'm going to slap buttons.
this guy here, he wasn't into wrestling for like the first however long it was that I knew you.
I got into it on my own.
Like one day you show up, you're like, hey, I kind of dig wrestling now. Let's talk about it. And then literally, 2 months later, we started the podcast? Yeah, so we've been doing it for a whole year.
Yeah, we've been doing this a whole year now.
Yeah.
A little more than that. It's been a blast. Anyways, enough to do with that. So Kalisto goes to SmackDown, Sin Cara goes to Raw, Naomi goes to SmackDown, which is only important because now she's going to stay with her relation, Jimmy Uso.
Well, yeah. But mainly, SmackDown needs women.
This is true.
And as I was saying, fair shake and whatnot, Naomi is one of those girls. She's never been the champion, has she? The women's champion or the Divas champion?
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I don't think she's ever had it. So, right now, your 3 women on SmackDown are Becky Lynch, Natalya, and Naomi.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that's not the best.
That's
fine. That's still a scene. You could make a little... if you give them long reigns, you could have Becky Lynch be a champion for a year.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. I dig that scene.
As long as the matches are consistent, you could have fucking Becky and Natalya feud for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, yeah, it'll get old, sure, but if the matches are all right, then
the matches will be fine for that feud.
And we got some NXT call-ups on SmackDown too.
Yeah,
for women.
And the last pick of that round 8, the Ascension go to SmackDown.
No, we forgot Jack Swagger.
Oh, so did everyone else.
Jack
Swagger goes to Raw. It's a job. Who cares about that? The Ascension go to SmackDown to have a bit more of a life. Once again, second chance.
To have a bit more of a tag team.
Yeah.
Right now, they're SmackDown's first team or second team.
I think.
If Luke
Fiasco makes it SmackDown.
If Luke Harper comes back, then at least SmackDown will have 3 tag teams as of this placement, because they've got American Alpha, who should own the division.
Mm-hmm.
Then they have fucking
Usos.
Ascension. The Usos
are there.
Usos who have owned the division.
They should be there to job.
I mean, they're still good, though.
They're still good.
I know everyone hates the Usos because, remove Samoa and then, the John Cena tag team version.
Mm-hmm.
I get it, but they're still good.
They're still good.
I'm not saying they should be fucking champions for 2 years.
No.
But they're still a really good tag team that people only hate because of their, because it's cool because we're smarts and we're supposed to hate John Cena.
I dislike them a little bit more than that.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're fine. But I don't think they're great.
I think it'd be better if they were given more mic time, because they're good in the ring, and they're not necessarily good talkers, but the way they talk is so it's like listening to this guy talk.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit, because Jimmy Uso was on commentary when he was injured, so they can talk.
Yeah, I mean they're hype dudes.
Yeah,
both of them are super hype.
That's fine. That's totally fine for them to have some mic time. Let them develop their characters.
Yeah. They don't even need to develop too much. Just be we're twins. We say some fucking crazy shit every time we talk.
Yeah. Let them just have some mic feud time.
And call everybody Oos.
Yo, Oos.
Call everyone.
Yeah, Oos. All right, round 9. The Dudley Boys go to Raw to job.
Yeah.
Yep. Par for the course. Zack Ryder goes to SmackDown. Hopefully as some sort of second chance. I
mean, even though both of them were off air draftings, you could easily have the 2 mid-card belts switched at Battleground. Because, right now, the U.S. champion Rusev's on Raw.
Yep.
His challenger is Zack Ryder, who's on SmackDown.
Yep.
If Zack Ryder wins, that's a SmackDown belt now.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with The Miz, Intercontinental Champion on SmackDown. His challenger, Darren Young, who's on Raw. Darren Young wins, that's a Raw belt.
I would be ecstatic if both belts changed in the Battlegrounds.
Because, both of these guys kind of deserve to have, their fucking time.
Well, it's more that... So, for a couple things. Miz don't need that fucking belt.
No. He doesn't need to wrestle anymore.
You've been building up Darren Young through vignettes.
Yeah.
And then he magically won the Royal Rumble. And then
the
Battle Royale. Fucking kill me.
Yeah, it's the only time a black guy won in Detroit.
Yeah, really. Jesus H.
And he was gay. Go fucking figure.
And
much like most black men, he didn't do it himself. He lucked into it. God,
I'm editing that one.
I can say that because there's a black man in the room and I'm still alive. All right.
I'm editing that one.
He's laughing. Look at his face.
I'm not editing that one. That crossed the line.
No, it didn't.
No, it didn't.
It's a good thing we only get like 3 viewers.
Yeah, really.
19 on the last one.
Yeah, we did.
I'm gonna leave you out to it.
It's killer in here. I'm sorry, dog. There's gonna be tech enough in this room when we're done. We got another
and there will be a fan on.
We got another 10 minutes or so.
Yeah.
We're good. All right. Remember, we're broadcasting live from Chronohaus, Michigan. Anything can happen here.
Live and unscripted,
unnamed, uncut, uncensored.
Oh man.
I should actually do that in reverse, or the last one was unnamed. Uncut, uncensored, unnamed. That's great.
Damn, we
That's
could make that permanent.
That's
put that in the intro.
No, because I do need to censor your voice.
But really though, I talk about cum.
Yeah, I know. We're fine. We're fine. No, but this I would greatly. It sucks that Rusev would drop the belt, but
yeah, but like if the Miz loses it, then Rusev's got it.
You have
because you can't just have every fucking belt on.
It would be a casualty, like a victimless, like he's a victim of a crime that's not his.
Yeah,
but it has to happen, and Zack Ryder can hold a belt.
Yeah.
You gave him a belt at WrestleMania that tells me you can at least let the guy touch a belt.
Yeah.
On SmackDown, if you let him win a belt on WrestleMania, you can probably let him hold a belt on your B show.
Plus, if Ryder was to win,
mm-hmm.
and Miz was to lose, so the belts are now switched on brands, then Ryder would be the perfect person for Corbin to beat.
Exactly.
To get his
That'd be a great program.
Yeah.
That'd be a blast.
And then Corbin can take his spot as the dominant mid-card heel
mm-hmm.
of SmackDown.
Exactly.
It makes all the sense in the world. That's why it's not going to happen.
Yeah. Right? 44th pick overall, Summer Rae goes to Raw. And then the second or third most depressing pick of the night, Apollo Crews goes to SmackDown.
Yeah.
More like Apollo Who's.
Yeah, but at the same time, like him again.
Okay, I don't like the term second chances with him because he did nothing wrong.
I mean, no one's done anything wrong.
This is true. This is
like
true.
It's not second chances as far as here's your shot, you fucked it up before. It's like here's your shot, we fucked you up.
Yeah,
and that's how it's been. Like Dean Ambrose, Becky Lynch, fucking Natalya too. Like if anyone deserves to be the queen of the fucking women's division, it's her.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Naomi, she did nothing wrong. She's good. She deserves to get just stop using the rear view.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fucking Bray Wyatt, the SmackDown roster just screams with potential of we've wasted these guys. Now let's stop fucking it up.
Exactly.
And I know a lot of people can look at that as, oh, you're putting like everyone who's not worth a shit on SmackDown. They're kind of missing the point with that.
Yeah, no,
this
everyone
is
who hasn't had a chance to beat a shit.
This is what the brand split is for in the talent's point of view, because it's like, what do we want? Do we want fucking Roman Reigns to be Raw's champion and then John Cena to be SmackDown's champion, and then they feud with literally Seth Rollins for Roman Reigns? And then John Cena feuds with Randy Orton, and then that's it. Even though they're still on those rosters, and that can easily happen. But
honestly,
that's what I'm saying. It's like, do you want the same shit just on fucking 2 different shows now, or do you want to see different guys in the main event, regardless of which show you want?
Exactly.
And that's how I'm looking at it. And I'm still trying to look at this positively, because that realistically could be the thing, and that's what I'm hoping.
That's what I feel about it too. I just feel really bad for Apollo Crews and his run or lack thereof. They gave him no gimmick. They gave him no matches. I think
he's too heavy to be a cruiserweight too, so he wouldn't really benefit from being on Raw.
That's true.
If anything, being on Raw would make him lost in the shuffle still, because there's still more superstars on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
So SmackDown with a thinner talent pool, cream rises to the top. He'll eventually fucking
rises to the top.
Even if he's put together with another guy that they're doing nothing with, and they become a tag team to help keep the tag team division a thing
float
on SmackDown. Because you imagine, since they have a split between the divisions, that there's going to be a tag team division on SmackDown as well as a women's division on SmackDown.
Yeah.
So, like, they're going to need bodies.
This is true.
And, like, if Apollo's got to work his way up, not everyone can have their first belt be the WWE title, like fucking Brock Lesnar. Roman Reigns technically didn't, but at the same time, that was his first singles belt. Yeah. So, there you go. Like, what, he had the tag team title with Rollins, once for a long time, but still. Like, as soon as they split up, Roman's fucking, that's his first title. He didn't have to fucking win the 2 mid-card belts.
Didn't have to work his way up from there.
Like Dean did. Even Seth, his first singles belt was the fucking WWE title. Go figure.
Yeah, the Rockets strapped to their asses. Yep. 46th pick overall, Raw gets Mark Henry.
Yep.
47th, Alexa Bliss goes to SmackDown.
Yeah, so another woman, and Alexa Bliss, I don't remember if she's good or not, but I know she's
better.
Adorable.
She's gotten better. She has a very nice butt. That's usually what people remark about her.
Is it like a big butt or just a cute little butt?
It's a big butt.
Is it a big butt?
It's actually a very big butt. She has a surprisingly big butt.
Is it Bailey, though? Is it a Bailey butt?
No, it's just like a wide loader butt.
A wide loader butt?
It's a big old butt.
It's a clearly does squats butt?
It's a good butt. Okay. We'll not try to split the differences here.
I just like her because she's cute. I don't know anything about. Because like I haven't been up to date on NXT, but I've heard reports that she's gotten better. I don't think she's bad to begin with. She was valeting for. She hasn't wrestled on any of the takeover shows.
No, I don't think so. But
because the women's division was doing more important things.
There's a lot of off-air shit that happens with NXT. That's the thing we have to remember. People improve immensely off-air.
Right. Yeah.
Round 10 starts off with Braun Strowman going to Raw, so the Wyatt family is pretty split at this point.
Yeah.
Because Bray was the only other Wyatt member chosen. Breezango goes to SmackDown. Bo Dallas goes to Raw. Stop me if any of these actually matter. Eva Marie goes to SmackDown. The Shining...
Holy shit, though. Fucking Eva Marie's on SmackDown.
I know.
It worries me.
I know.
Because, like... I mean, I guess the fact that she was chosen off-air is good.
Yes.
It's a good sign. But, like, the fact that she's on the Second Chance show, and they've been wanting to put a belt on her for a while now.
I know.
It's like, Eva Marie is your top heel of SmackDown. Christ.
The Shining Stars go to Raw.
Oh, you mean like the one team that should be on SmackDown now?
Honest. And the Vaudevillains go to SmackDown.
I mean, that's good. I like the third.
I'm fine with that, too. Alicia Fox goes to Raw.
I think she should have been on SmackDown.
This is round 11, by the way.
Yeah, I think she should have been on SmackDown.
I can see it. Eric Rowan goes to SmackDown. He stays with Bray. Oh. Dana Brooke goes to Raw. She stays with Charlotte. Mojo Rawley gets called up.
SmackDown.
The
Hype Bros reunite.
Which could probably tells
very, very easily be a thing.
That probably tells us Zach's losing.
I mean, yeah.
That's your biggest indication if you think that Zach is losing. That's your biggest indication.
Yeah, I mean, like in all likelihood, both Zach and Darren are going to lose.
The thing with Darren is that kills me.
Yeah,
that's really fucking stupid.
Yeah. What kills me more than Darren losing though is that Miz is winning.
It's the worst case scenario. You spend time giving guy vignettes. Yeah. You give him a, albeit very lucky, kind of plucky babyface win at the Battle Royale. Yeah. He wins on SmackDown with the chicken wing crossface, which got a pop.
It did.
Which got a big old pop. So if he loses Miz, that's just like, well, why did you fucking bother? Why did you fucking bother?
Yeah.
And
again, if
he wins, then Rusev has to lose.
Yeah. It's the dankest timeline.
It's the worst. Yeah, fucking hell, it's the dankest timeline. Curtis Axel goes to Raw. Carmella gets called up from NXT.
Yeah.
But she goes to SmackDown, where Enzo and Cass are not.
Yeah. They're trying to keep them their own separate thing.
Yeah. And then undrafted is Heath Slater, baby.
It's so fucking funny.
It's actually comical.
Both of the social outcasts get drafted to Raw. So they wasted 2 picks to get members of Social Outcasts when they could have just said Social Outcasts.
I know.
And you got all 3 of them.
That's it. They waited for the worst possible sale.
Yeah.
On talent.
And like, if what you said is true about the talent not knowing where they were,
yeah.
So Heath Slater didn't know beforehand that he was going to get undrafted.
I guess not.
So this is just a big ass rib to Heath Slater.
Yeah.
What? This is like the most intriguing thing.
According to what I was listening to, because I didn't watch the post show on the WWE where the rest of the draft happened, there was like a shot of him in like an area with a bunch of empty chairs.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah, I'm just gonna wait to get drafted," and like the lights go out.
Yeah.
Like it's a comedy section, obviously.
Yeah.
So he'll show up on Raw with the Social Outcasts. Like
maybe.
I want to say that's the solution. So, anyways, matches for the night. Cena beats Gallows.
Cyan beats Gallows.
Cyan beats Gallows. The CMYK clan wins again. Bray beats Xavier. Kain squashes Sami and Owens. Zack and Darren beat Rusev and Miz. Jericho beats Cesaro. Charlotte and Dana beat Sasha in a handicap match. And
you forgot the list.
Dean beats
Seth Rollins.
Seth after no selling a superplex and getting dirty deeds.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Considering that that was like a transition move. It's a combo move.
Yep.
So he bursted.
He basically bursted.
And like he needed that shot of adrenaline. Was like, oh fuck, I hit my finisher. He should have sold. He
really should have fucking.
He should have sold after getting the pin, or like before getting the pin, like making the dirty deeds look stronger, like going into business for himself a little bit, like hitting him with it, fucking crawling his. Oh fuck, my fucking nads.
Yeah.
Just everything about my soul aches.
I love
taking like a 10 count to fucking get to him.
And
then pinning him without hooking the leg. Like fucking just put his finger on him, just barely.
Yeah.
Just going to business
I
for
love
himself.
Dean to death. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to be critical of him when he fucks up. His selling, not the greatest.
Not always. Sometimes it's
great. Sometimes it's not that great. And
in this situation,
nice like to this, that's pretty fucking heinous.
Now, it'd be cool if you kayfabed it, though. Because, like, Dean's backstory is that, he's done crazier shit than this and taken better abuse. Exactly. But that's reading into it, and like, WWE doesn't acknowledge that.
And the thing
even when they do acknowledge it, they don't follow through.
The thing with acknowledging something like that is that, like, saying that he's taking more abuse than that's a storyline mechanic that leads the show more often.
Right.
Basically in the form of, he's deaning up.
He's deaning up. It's like, you hit him with a fucking move. Yeah. He hits fucking Dragon Install.
He's like, I worked at CZW. I got probably hit with a weed whacker. I can take this.
He fucking got hit with like all the fucking fluorescent lights.
Yeah, really.
Fucking got like a saw on his forehead.
I saw that picture. Yeah, just gruesome shit.
Disgusting shit. So
it's really a miracle that Dean is not covered in scars.
If anybody could no sell superplex, it would be Dean Ambrose.
Yeah,
but that's only a case if you actually make that.
If you acknowledge that he came from CZ fucking W.
Yeah, like fucking tell commentary.
That is the prettiest man to walk out of CZW and be dating. Like, let me put it this way: you worked at CZW, you took a reciprocating saw to the forehead, and you're still good looking enough for Renee to date you.
For fucking a lot of girls, apparently,
yeah.
Really love Dean.
It's magical how much not scarring that man has. In his face.
He's like. He could easily be John Cena 2.0 in the medical direction.
Exactly.
Because he might be around till he's 50, like taking Ric Flair bumps and shit.
Yeah. So, 3 closing mentions. What do you think of Raw's roster?
I mean, it's Raw's roster looks toward the future a little more. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's literally how it's looking. Like Raw is going to be like the future is now type shit, and SmackDown is like, here's these other guys that really deserve it, and we haven't been giving it to them.
Yeah, that was the second question. What is SmackDown?
Yeah, so like when you weigh the two together, as long as the guys that we've seen over and over again, like Sheamus and Big Show, don't take up too much time, then we're going to get pretty nice results from both brands, I think. Because like if you just take the main event scene normally has 2 things going on at once. Normally.
Mhm.
You got like the belt, and then you got the guys who don't need the belt and they're super important. So now instead of having those 2 main event seeds, you got 4.
Mhm.
2 per brand. So like you got like John Cena now, who normally took up one of those spots. He still takes up one of those spots, but now there's 3 other spots
Yes.
instead of just one other spot.
It feels like Raw had and I don't like this phrase because it demotes or demeans the people who are SmackDown. It feels like you just took Raw and you cut the fat from it.
I mean, like, that's kind of what it implies when you say that, like, these guys didn't get a fair shot, now they're on SmackDown where they can play by themselves.
Yes.
That's
That's
kind of
exactly what we want, though.
Yeah, like that's what you want. It's like
We just don't want it to come off in a demeaning fashion.
like, Raw is going to be the same as it ever was, with these same guys in the main event. Like, yes, but now we're going to get another main event scene.
Yeah.
And as long as they treat it like one, it's going to be fine.
Exactly.
And since John Cena's over there, you would think they're going to treat it like that.
And my third closing statement, what do you think of the NXT call-ups?
I mean, Balor was obvious. American Alpha was great. Other than that, you're pretty much saying Zack Ryder's going to need something to do when we fuck him over again. So they gave him Mojo Rawley. We need more women, so they got more women on SmackDown. I guess Nia Jax being called up, like Raw needs a monster. She's probably going to get the women's title relatively soon. Like, if not this year, then like shortly next year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's probably going to be the one, because Charlotte's a heel. The babyface that beats her for it is going to be beat by Nia Jax eventually.
Yeah.
Like, that's the way I look at it. Like, not saying they're a transitional champion, but I think that however long, like, let's say Sasha, you think she's a shoo-in.
Yes.
Sasha beats Charlotte, holds it for at least 6 months, because I think she's going to have it for a while.
Yeah.
She's going to lose it to Nia Jax.
Yep.
That's
Well, don't say 6 months, because that's not even getting me. I don't want that to happen.
it would kind of suck a little
That
bit.
would
wouldn't
suck like a fucking train. Because the thing is, I saw a lot of complaints online that said,
it? No Bailey.
no Bailey, no Joe, no Aries, no Nakamura.
Now, I understand that, and like kayfabe wise, it makes no sense that they didn't get drafted.
Kayfabe wise, it's shattering.
Yeah, but
I think we're on the same wavelength here.
yeah, like NXT still needs guys so that it can be its brand.
Yeah.
Like you can't take the entire like everyone that matters from NXT and then like say, well, we're starting over now, like, and then still have
No way, Jose is your new champion.
Yeah, like fucking you expect to have like sold out NXT takeover shows with no Joe, no Asuka, no Nakamura, no Austin Aries, like none of those NXT main eventers. Like you've got to build more people up so that you can get called up.
Exactly.
Like I remember thinking before we got a lot of the newer NXT guys, like what's gonna happen fucking when Neville and Owens and Sammy get called up, like what the fuck? But then immediately, or like Sasha too, like Sasha, like what, you're just gonna have Bailey? Who's Bailey gonna face? And fucking, oh look, Asuka's here. Oh shit, it's Kana.
Yeah.
Except she's Asuka now.
Yeah. Hey, we have a new host. Her name's Nia Jax.
Yeah, regardless of what you think about her, like she still showed up at the perfect time.
Yes.
Right when you needed her. Same thing with like fucking Joe. Well, I mean Joe was around, I guess, but still, like he became important shortly after we got the 3 call-ups I mentioned. You know, Joe, fucking Aries showed up. Nakamura showed up after that. So it's like you got to think, especially with the Cruiserweight Classic going on.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, not all of those Cruiserweights are going to be moved to Raw.
No, although there have been talks that a lot of them have been offered contracts.
Yeah, so like NXT is going to have a lot of new guys.
Yeah.
Like a lot of new tested talent
Mm-hmm.
to help with the newer homegrown guys, which is how it's always been. Like Sasha was homegrown.
Yes.
But
Sasha's only been wrestling for like 3 years.
Yeah, and technically so is Charlotte. Like she's related to a wrestler, but she's homegrown too. Like Bailey as well. Like that's like a lot of guys say NXT. The only reason it's good is because there's not the indie guys. Like, the indie guys help.
Yeah.
They help. Like,
Homegrown
a lot.
talent's what makes that shit fucking
But
rock.
like the homegrown guys are gaining are who got their start in NXT are still like huge. Because like you have the Baileys, you have the fucking Baron Corbins, who's like fucking new guy that is doing more than Apollo Crews is, and Apollo Crews was an indie guy.
Yeah, it's a little tragic, but yeah.
But yeah, like you have the homegrown guys that when they finally get important, when they get the call up, it's that much more important. Because like you look at Sasha Banks, she's like probably the most over woman on the main roster. But before that, you didn't know who the fuck she was. Like she was jobbing to Paige, like before she joined the fucking BFFs or whatever the fuck. You know, like Summer Rae was the leader of Charlotte and Sasha Banks. Like look back on that and say, what? Summer Rae? She didn't even fucking get drafted on air. You know?
Yeah.
So like a lot can happen. But if you gut the roster of all the people who are important now, then you have to like fucking
who's there to build?
Yeah, who's there to help build these guys? Like help get great matches out of these green guys and like show them the ropes. You're just gonna like have Triple H go in there and do it himself, like draft Triple H to NXT.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah, NXT, it's fine not having those guys. Like in kayfabe, it's obviously retarded.
Yeah,
but,
in kayfabe, it's fucking retarded as all.
But outside of kayfabe, it's like completely.
So there's a different angle I like to take with this one. You get 6 NXT call-ups, but none of them are going to be like. You only get 1 surprise.
Yeah.
Because 6 surprises doesn't work.
Yeah.
You can only have like 1 big surprise, which is going to be like maybe your first guy. So your big surprise is Finn Balor.
Yeah.
And then everyone else kind of is like, okay, that's nice, that's great.
So American Alpha was still a surprise.
That was a good surprise too. But here's the business side of it. Do you blow all of your surprises in one go, or do you wait?
I mean, that's true too.
So then,
because like the draft isn't the end all be all.
No.
Who's going to end up on what?
So because the thing is, you make more money going Finn Balor now, American Alpha now, and then like the night after pay-per-view X, Samoa Joe debuts. Holy fuck! Next pay-per-view, Austin Aries debuts. Holy fuck! Night after Royal Rumble, like at Royal Rumble, Shinsuke Nakamura debuts. Holy fuck!
Right.
Like you have to like your indie guys that have massive names and like cult followings after them. You have to hold on to that money for when the time is right. You can't blow it all in one go. So that's why people are like, "Oh no, Bayley." Okay, let's be honest. So
Bayley's probably going to show up at that.
Okay, so let's talk about if Bayley's not the mystery partner at Battlegrounds, whoever is the mystery partner is instantly buried.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's going to be fucking what happened to Rey Mysterio when he was the number 30 entrant.
If that's it. If it is not Bayley, you just killed someone.
It's Eva Marie.
If it's Eva Marie, you killed Eva Marie. If it's Nia Jax, you killed Nia Jax.
It's not going to be Nia Jax, though. It's got to be a babyface.
Exactly. If it's not Bayley, you killed someone.
I mean, it's got to be Bayley.
There's
the only one who could survive that call-up would be fucking Asuka.
Yeah.
You know, because that would be like, whoa, what?
Yeah, if it's Asuka, that's great. If it's either Asuka or Bayley, it still needs to be
Bayley.
So, anyways, that's the 2016 WWE Draft. We're all hot and sweaty. We want to go play fighting games. That is it for us. You will catch us after Battlegrounds. Deuces. Adios, homeboys and homegirls.